Does that seem like a long time ago?
In some ways, and in some ways it seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
I wish every kid that came to Nashville to play country music could have the past that I did, because I started with Lester, and after Lester, Johnny Cash, and that was great training before I started my own band. Right. And used two of the greatest masters, and I wish every young'un that's starting out in country music could have that kind of mentorship, you know. My mama was a great shutterbug, and when I first went to work with Lester Flatt, first trip to New York City, I was 14, and walked in a bookstore in the Village, and there was a jazz photographer named Milt Hinton who carried his bass in one hand and his camera in the other, and he had all these photographs I saw in this bookstore of behind the scenes, like the family snapshots like my mama took in Mississippi, but it was of the family of jazz, and I thought, I can do that to country music. They're my new family. And so I called my mom and asked her for a camera, and I started shooting pictures and haven't let up. Well, that was about my first record, and I called this guy over in North Carolina, had that record label. I said, I want to make a record. And I told him what my ideas were. He said, sure. And I hung up the phone and went, dadgum, I got a record deal, don't have a band, don't have any songs. I just talked my way into it. So I called Earl Scruggs and Doc and Merle Watson and Johnny Cash, and they came over and helped me out. But that was not a band you could take on the road. Too heavy.
But great listening.
Great.
It's a listening album.
It was a good starter kit record. It was. I'm proud of some of that record. Singing is good at my house, sometimes I listen at her sing across the house and go, that's Connie Smith. Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah. That's too neat.
First time I met her, I was 12 years old. She came to my hometown to sing at a fair, at our county fair. It's a Choctaw Fair. And I told my mama that I'm going to marry that girl.
What's the date of your marriage?
July the 8th, 1997.
Wow. Been good years.
Been great years.
Marty, you have a brand new CD. Would you tell the friends and neighbors what it's all about?
Lou, it's called Way Out West, and that's what it's called. Not Way Out West, but Way Out West. You might see a flying saucer or two on the way to this one. All the things that inspired me in this purpose about California. It came out of California back in the beautiful days of country music. For the Buck Owens and that Bakersfield sound, the Capitol Records sound, surf music, Go-Go Girls, the Batmobile, all those things. We stacked it all up and wrote songs around that. And there's some mighty good songs on here. Proud of it.
Had you been planning on this type of theme for some time?
No, it was just time to make a record. And we started listening to a lot of our favorite records on the bus, me and the band, one afternoon. Had a day off and just sitting in the bus listening. And we started talking about what we just talked about all those things that came from California. So how about we call it Way Out West? And I mean way out west. And I thought, let's take a trip through the Mojave Desert. And there's songs on there like Old Mexico that were inspired by Marty Robbins and his guys. Lost on the Desert to Die was on the second Johnny Cash record I ever had when I was a little kid.
I remember it.
And they just, those kind of songs just don't go away.
The CD, you have so many youngins on that, 16 of them. Do you have a favorite youngin?
No, it changes by the day. You know how that goes.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Tell you my favorite.
Which one?
Way Out West.
I relate. You're out there too. I started writing that song and I thought, what is this silly piece of business? And I took a nap on the couch or the front seat of the bus, and I woke back up and I looked at the words and said, well, that's pretty nutty, but I'm gonna finish it out. But it set the theme.
That man meant something to you, didn't he?
You have no idea, Lou. And when I married Connie Smith, I had no idea that her mama was a Lily.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're from West Virginia and you're a Lily, you're all kin. And so Connie didn't know that she and B and Everett were kin till we got married. But I love Everett Lilly. I love the music of the Lilly Brothers. Boy, they had that Rascal Mountain sound.
Yes.
But there was a song on the first Flatt and Scruggs record I had called Earl's Breakdown. It was a banjo instrumental, and that mandolin solo came on, and it lit me up as a little kid. And Everett is one of my favorite mandolin players, and there's been a little progress since this quote. I'm working on an institution down in Mississippi called Marty Stuart's Congress of Country Music, Museum Performance Space.
Terrific.
And Daniel Lilly donated Everett's mandolin.
I know Daniel.
And it's like having, the Grail down there. And so I am so honored to be the caretaker of Everett's mandolin for a while.
The Earl's Breakdown, Daniel told me about that, and that really hooked you line and sinker.
Oh, it got me. But Everett, and they did a song called Little Annie.
Uh-huh.
You remember Little Annie?
Oh, sure I do.
If anybody wants to know what West Virginia looks like, listen to Little Annie, and it's all the best. It's all the best.
Gonna let you go. How's Connie?
Constance June is fine. She's
Good.
on the Grand Ole Opry tonight.
Yeah.
And she had a big night last night. I think it was Reba McEntire and Dolly and her and Carrie
my.
Underwood. So it was a hen house. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You and me were in the right place.
Well, you know, she's one of our own. She's a member of the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, and I'm proud to be Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Marty. I wish you nothing but the best. I believe you're looking at Grammy number 6 with Go Out West.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
I mean that.
Well, thank you, man. And I tell you, thank you for being a steady force up here in these West Virginia hills as you have been for so many years. People love you. I appreciate you and I love you, and thank you for playing country music.
I love you. All the best, my friend. Happy trails.
You as well, pal.